Kensurfs here, and another shave video. Well, gents, I was going to do a shave review today of a soap I haven't tried yet. I've tried many of the products from this gentleman, from Robert at Victory Shaving Company, but I was going to try some Navigator soap today. But I got an interesting email today, and it was from my friend Marcus out in Denmark. And he was saying, hey, Ken, you know, tomorrow is the anniversary of the death of the king, Elvis Presley. Could you do a tribute shave for Elvis? And he said his favorite aftershave was Brut, original Brut, which we can do. And he says maybe you can use a 1977 razor. So I am going to do a vintage shave today, with the exception of the Victory Shaving Soap, to Elvis Presley, a tribute shave. And I'm going to get that set up. And remember where you were on this day?
It may have been a heart attack, but police in Memphis, Tennessee are also investigating the possibility that Elvis Presley's death this afternoon was caused by a drug overdose. Presley was found unconscious in his mansion at about 2:30, was pronounced dead an hour later.
Man, that was a dark day. It was a Tuesday. I remember right where I was. Every year, probably since 1974, my family, my mom and dad would take my brother, my sister, and me up to Lake Tahoe. We started out camping at Lake Tahoe for several years, and then we ended up going to motels, and just kind of a family tradition. And I remember it was a Tuesday, August 16th, 1977, and I was at the north shore of Lake Tahoe, staying in a campground up there, and we heard the news that Elvis had died. And I remember my dad, everybody, we were all upset. And it takes a while to hit you that you don't realize that you've got something good until he's gone. And man, Elvis, he sure, the music, the movies, just a terrible loss. And I can't believe it's been, God, so many years since that terrible day. So he did like Brut, and I do have two Bruts here, but I'm going to use this one. I don't take this out too often. You can see it's getting a little empty, but this is the vintage stuff. So I'm going to be using vintage Brut today. I've got an X2, a vintage Black Beauty Gillette that I'll be using, 1977, because that was the year he passed away. I'll be using that. I will be using my restored Ever Ready brush. Let's see if you can see that. I think it's a C40. Got a synthetic knot in there. My first restoration. Doggone handle is heavy, so I'll be using that today. I've got the, I'm going to use a mild blade in there. I've got a Personna blue. I'll be using that with a little, I would do some pre-shave. We'll do some prep. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to put the Victory soap into the Scuttle. I have a lot of luck using these Scuttles. Really whips up a good lather. So let me just, I love using this because it has flat edges. It's the, I think it's the British 50 pence, is it? And I use this because it's got those flat edges, and I can just scrape a nice layer off and put it right into the Scuttle. Navigator. What is the scent of this one? Tobacco and bay leaf. Good stuff. And the reason I was bringing up the Victory soap is Robert had emailed me, and they're coming out with he's coming out with a new soap, and it's going to be menthol scent. And he sent me a sample, so I can't wait to try that out. And it's not like the usual menthol, he says, where you smell it intensely right away. He says it's got a slow motion explosion. It kind of grows stronger and stronger. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out. All right, see, it scrapes this stuff right up. Whoop. Right up. Got a good amount of it right there. We'll put it in this bowl. Can't believe it's almost Labor Day. And I have been real scatterbrained this last week or two, because I start my vacation this Friday, and guess where I'm going? I missed it last year. First time in 30, 40 years. 30, well, whatever, since 1977. Going to Lake Tahoe. Going with my wife and daughter. My son's going to stay in the house and hang out here, take care of the dog, and I get to go up to South Shore. And man, I'll be shooting some videos up there, because if you haven't seen Lake Tahoe, it's just a fantastic place to go. They've got some cool gambling. They used to have Caesars Tahoe, but now it's changed ownership. But they still have Harrah's and Harvey's and some good casinos up there, the Hard Rock. And it's on the lake, and that lake got so much rain that it just fresh air. Get to watch the eclipse. Going to be the eclipse next week. I think we're going to see 80% of it up there at Lake Tahoe. So that should be cool. All right. Let's get that started. So Marcus, thanks for the tip. Thanks for the good idea. We'll do a tribute to Mr. Elvis today. You know, another thing, since we came out from England, that my folks used to love is they used to love going to Las Vegas. And I didn't, you know, when I was a kid, I couldn't gamble. But man, the bright lights, the big city, you know, seeing all the, used to have like arcades, you know, keep the kids busy, so the folks can waste the money. And all those original casinos that have all been tore down now, like the Stardust and the Aladdin and, you know, what is it, the Sands, the Dunes. Man, I've been watched those imploded and, you know, destroyed over the last several years. But I do remember we were going since probably 1970, and you could see performing tonight, Elvis at the Hilton, or Elvis. And I remember seeing Frank Sinatra performing, Dean Martin performing, all those guys, man, that I never got to see. My folks never got to see. My aunt got to see a few of them. But you take it for granted and then they're gone. I mean, the Marquis, just to see that Sammy Davis Jr. and, you know, all of the Rat Pack, you know, were performing there. Oh, just amazing. Just amazing. All right. Did get to see Tony Bennett last year, so my wife goes, "Hey, you want to go see Andy Williams? You know, Moon River, just classic guys who used to sing in the 50s and the 60s, and you know, then they start doing these little, you know, casinos or, you know, throughout the U.S. And then you say, nah, I'll watch them next year, and then, yeah, no more, no more." My generation, that's like Billy Joel, you know, he's getting up there and he's still touring, but I took my daughter to see him. I took my son to see Paul McCartney. I mean, when you're going to get a chance, you know, to see a Beatle, would have been fantastic. I remember as a little kid in England, and I was in London, maybe I was 4 or 5, but there was a sign that said, "The Beatles," and I didn't know what it was, but they were doing some performance somewhere. It was a big deal all over London. And can you imagine having to have seen that? Would have been great. Well, no problem with a Victory shave soap. Never expected a problem. Very nice. No problem with a cool brush I restored. A lot of talking in this video, guys. So I'll be coming to you from Nevada and from California, Lake Tahoe next week. I'll shoot some scenery if you're interested. I get a chance next Thanksgiving, this Thanksgiving, well, like 4 months from now, 3 or 4 months from now. I'm going out to Louisiana again, but via Memphis. So I get to go to Graceland. I get to see Graceland and Sun Records and some cool things. And I know Cap is out there in Memphis, and never been to Memphis. So if you guys have some recommendations on where to stay, a hotel, you know, because everything always sounds good, but if you've never been, you could end up in a place that, you know, maybe not that safe. Same with downtown LA, you know, you have beautiful skyscrapers, but they're just places you don't want to go, you know, because it's not that safe. And that happened I was staying at the Hyatt in Austin, Texas last year. And beautiful hotel, cost an arm and a friggin' leg, you know. I wish my wife would have consulted with me. And it was in downtown, like really nice place. And then the guy at the desk says, "Oh, sir, you don't want to walk on the street, on that street at night out there, not safe." And I go, "What?" Anyway, I'm getting the bottle ready. So, you know, guys, you know some places in Memphis that are reasonable or safe location, because apparently they've opened up a hotel near Graceland, and my wife's looking at that. And I don't know if that's any good. It doesn't have to be in Memphis, because I'll be renting a car so I can go driving to all those sites. Wow, it's 1977 again. Is that ABBA on the radio? Steve Miller Band, Book of Dreams. I was about to be a junior in high school. A 15-year-old troublemaker. Kensurfs. Had a pretty good growth going there too, and that thing rips right through it. And I think it was Cincy, or C-I-N-C-Y. I butcher everybody's name. Shaves had asked a question. He says, I think it was him. Somebody asked, on your super speeds, what setting do you have it at? And I usually keep mine at 3. It's just an overall good setting for me. But everybody's face is different. And I blinked, and I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers. So if that happens when I'm on vacation, I'll do a giveaway as soon as I can when I get back. Thank you very much for your subscriptions. First layer wiped out. Still a ton of soap. People ask me what my favorite scent of soaps are, or what my favorite soap is, and man, it's fun using all the soaps, but that menthol stuff's really good. I like that, that menthol kind of has a cooling effect, and so I'm looking forward to trying out his soap. That Arctique, man, that just makes my eyes water. Holy crap. That's good stuff too. Menthol. Oh, and that reminds me, I've got this. Got it from Wadi Men's Care. I'll be trying this out. I'm probably going to bring this on vacation. And it's an anti-aging shaving cream. And it's, I think it's brushless. But we're going to see. I usually like using a brush, so I'll be trying that out on the trip. All right. Where was I? Oh, man. Finding that. Refresh myself. By the way, that took about 5 damn minutes. I have all my stuff laid out. My wife cleans up. Never guessed it would have been in my shaving drawer. I guess I shouldn't yell. That's where it belongs. All right. Last Friday when I did that video, I was about to go golfing and could not get out. Everybody and their friggin' mother were out there on that golf course. I didn't book a tee time, and I'm glad. Was that a lot of dads? And, you know, God bless you, you got your 12-year-old kid or your 11-year-old kid out there practicing golf, but there were 10 carts on hole 1 waiting to go as this dad and his little kids were hitting the ball about 10 feet every time. And people were getting pissed, but, you know, family golf course, what do you expect? It wasn't Pebble Beach. And I would have been real happy if my dad would have took me out too, so I just aborted the mission. Might go tomorrow night after work. It's always mellower at night, a little cooler. My face is completely, this is overkill now. 3 passes. I probably will not do 3-pass shaves when I'm on vacation. You're up at 8,000 feet, having fun. I want to get out there. All right. Have you noticed this Black Beauty is a plastic frame? They got a little cheap at the end of their runs, Gillette did, and not all a metal frame. If you look at the base on an old one, underneath here, you'll see it's metal, but underneath here, plastic. Now it's held up, but I don't know if it would be quite as durable in 50, 60 years. Always nervous to do that there, boys. Pure overkill. If you can do them in 2, do them in 2. Like I said, somebody had asked, see, I keep this going in here just to rinse with. But then I rinse with a cold water. And I leave soap in my ear so you guys can see and laugh at me. I rinse with that cold water. And it kind of closes up your pores. Which is kind of nice. I'm getting used to this stuff now. And that's no burn. It does have a pleasant kind of neutral smell. What is this one? Doesn't really say. See? All right, here we go. The original Brut. It's to you, Elvis. You got style, because I do like this stuff. Oh, very nice. Shaving cream. That smarts. Whew. Very good. Well, you know, there's some people who believe Elvis isn't gone and he's just in hiding or something. And man, wouldn't it be cool if one of those conspiracy theories? Remember Eddie and the Cruisers? If you've ever seen that movie, it was a good movie back in about '84, I think, and it was like about a rock and roll guy who faked his own death, disappeared, and then he comes back like 20 years later, and makes an appearance. And man, what a good movie. Eddie and the Cruisers. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's a great soundtrack. Some good music on there on that show. But anyhow. All right, guys. Maybe next time I see you, I'll be coming to you from Lake Tahoe. Might have one more shot of getting one in before I go. Until next time, it's Kensurfs saying have a great night and thank you for watching. Almost forgot. See, I'm thinking vacation. And you guys had asked me, hey, if your buddy George, the machinist, ever makes these again. These are the non-magnetic stainless steel that I guess they use non-magnetic stainless steel in the food industry. Keeps away bacteria. Anyway, I believe he's made about 15 of these cool stands, and I know I think it was Darren already bought 4 of them. So I will put George's email if you're interested in the description of this. If you're interested in getting some shave stands, I know a lot of you had asked. I can't count how many have asked me. If that guy ever makes shave stands again, will you let me know? And you can shoot him an email, get the details, and like I said, I think Darren bought 4 of them. And my buddy has a bad back, so he's a machinist, but he doesn't make them too often. But I told him, he said he's made some. Let you guys know, because I guess this last batch went like that. All right, till next time, have a great night.